He was the unluckiest man in the whole world. Well, at least that's what he told all his friends. He never bothered to buy a ticket for the lottery because he knew he'd never win. And he once bought 10 raffle tickets. I don't know if it was at a storytelling event, but he didn't win. He didn't win one prize.
What if he was here?
But his friends, they got fed up with him saying he was the unluckiest man in the world. They said, you need to go and visit the oracle. He's a bit reluctant, but in the end, he was persuaded the oracle could advise him on how he could change his luck. So he went off and he travelled for a day, a week, a month, a year, and the following day he came to this track in the forest. And there was this wolf walking towards him. And the wolf said, what are you doing here in the forest? This is a really dangerous place. Oh, he said, I'm going to visit the oracle. I want to change my luck. And the wolf said, well, I'm really unlucky as well, he said. I never get enough to eat and I can never find anything to eat. Can you ask the oracle to change my luck? He said, no problem. And off he went, and he travelled for a day, a week, a month, a year, and the following day he tripped over this stump of a tree in the ground. And the stump of the tree said, what are you doing? All his leaves had fallen off. He was only a bit like a bonsai tree. He said, I'm so sorry. He said, I was so focused on where I was going, I didn't see you down there. And we said, where are you going to? He said, I'm going to visit the oracle. And he's going to change my luck. Oh, he said, do you mind asking the oracle for me? Because I'm really unlucky. He said, you see all these tall trees around me? They grow not just inches every year, they grow many feet. And I never seem to grow at all. Oh, okay, that's not a problem. I'll ask the oracle. And he travelled further, and for a day and a week and a month and a year, and the following day he came to this beautiful house in a fantastic setting. If you ever visit the Cotswolds, one of those thatched cottages, you see pictures on the boxes of chocolates. And out of the front door came this beautiful woman, and he stood there open-mouthed. And she beckoned him over. She says, I can see you've been travelling a long time. Come in and I'll give you a cup of tea. And he went in, he had a cup of tea. He sat down. He said, would you like a meal? He said, well, yeah, I've been travelling a long time. I wouldn't mind having a meal. And she cooked him a shepherd's pie. And he started to eat it, and it was absolutely delicious. And she'd put some Worcester sauce in it, and it had that delightful flavour. And she said, well, where are you walking to? He said, I'm going to visit the oracle. I'm the most unlucky man in the world. And I'm going to ask his advice. He said, oh, well, you might ask him for me as well. I'm really unlucky. He said, you live in this beautiful house. You're a great cook, and if you don't mind me saying, I think you're a gorgeous woman. And she said, no, she says, I get so lonely living in this house, and I never get any visitors. And I've always wanted to get married and have at least 2 children, and I never meet anybody. Okay, I'll ask the oracle his advice. And he travelled for a day, a week, a month, a year, and the following day he eventually came to the oracle. And he mentioned about the wolf and the stump of the tree And the woman lived in that chocolate box cottage. And the oracle gave some answers. He said, what about me? He said, well, how do I change my luck? He says, you need to seize your opportunities. Oh, I'll do that, he says. And he starts to travel back to where he'd come from. And his luck did seem to change. He got to the thatched cottage in no time at all. And the woman came out of the front door and she came up to him, gave him a hug and a peck on the cheek. And she invited him. She said, did you see the oracle? He said, yeah, I saw the oracle. And what did he tell you? He said, I've got to seize my opportunities. And what about me? She said. He said, well, that was an easy one. Instead of waiting to meet someone, you should just propose to a young man yourself. And she said, well, I never meet any young men. I don't suppose you would marry me, would you? He said, I would do, but I've got to go ahead and seize my opportunity, he said. So he went on his way, and in no time at all, he came to the stump of a tree. This time he didn't stumble over it. And the stump of tree said to him, well, what did the oracle say? He said, I've got to seize my opportunities. What about me? Said the stump of a tree. He said, well, the problem with what you've got, he said, is there's either a big stone under the tree or a metal treasure trove. And all you've got to do is dig, probably the metal treasure trove, dig it out, and your roots and the tree will start to grow again. And the stump of the tree said, well, would you mind removing it? He said, I haven't got time. He said, I've got to go ahead and seize my opportunity. He says, I can't do that. So off he went, and within a short time he came across the wolf strolling towards him. And the wolf said, did you see the oracle? Oh yeah, I saw the oracle. And he gave me the answer. He said, I've got to seize my opportunities. And he said, what about me? Well, the answer was really simple. He said, you're suffering from malnutrition. You're not getting enough food to eat. Instead of just chatting to strangers in the forest, you should eat them up. And without further ado, the wolf gobbled the man up. Thank you.